Hey guys, so whenever we go to the market for a shopping, right, and we found some interesting thing, right, in the market, so we think that let's go and buy that thing, right? But the first thing before this, what we do is we think about the use of that thing, right? For example, if you went for a shopping and you find some air fryer, right? And you already had an air fryer in your house, right? So what do? You don't go and buy that air fryer again. You think of that key. Is it necessary to buy that second air fryer when you have already have one in your house? Okay, so this is what we need to think about TLS also. That why do we need TLS, right? What is the use of this TLS and what it does in an application, right? What is the role of it basically, right? So to support this, we will be seeing this 4 points, right? So what are these 4 points? The first point is ensuring data confidentiality. So what it does say? It says TLS encrypts data transmitted over the network, preventing unauthorized parties from intercepting and reading sensitive information. This is crucial for protecting sensitive data such as personal information, financial transactions, and login credentials. So it means that whenever we are like sending data over the network, so TLS will encrypt that data so that no other person can intercept and read it. If some say if there's a third person who is able to intercept that message, he won't be able to read it because that message is encrypted and only the authorized person will be able to read it, right? Decrypted basically the message, right? Second point is maintaining data integrity. So, TLS uses cryptographic techniques to ensure that the data transmitted between the client and server remains unchanged during transit. This prevents data tampering by attackers, ensuring that the information received is the same as what was sent. Now, what does it mean? So, it means that whatever the data is being sent from a client to a server, right? So it should not change between the two parties, right? No other person should be sit in the middle and should be able to get the data, change that data, right? Manipulate that data, right? So for that, TLS uses some cryptographic techniques. Now in TLS, basically we use symmetric cryptography, asymmetric cryptography, right? Some hash functions we use like SHA-256, and then we use some digital signatures like certificates. So SSL certificates or TLS certificates we use basically to ensure that data integrity is maintained, right? And no other third person can sit in between and intercept that data and change that data or manipulate that data or read that data, right? Third point is authenticating communication parties. TLS enables authentication of the communicating parties, typically the client and server, ensuring that each party can verify the identity of the other. This prevents man in the middle attack, where an attacker intercepts communication and personates one of the parties. Now, what does it mean? So, let's say some data is being sent from client on and the server, right, from client to the server basically. So TLS will ensure that whether the particular client is the same client that has sent the data or not. Is it not some other person who is trying to personify themselves as the client, right? So this tactic is basically called man in the middle attack. So TLS prevents this man in the middle attack by verifying that these two parties are the same one as they personify, right? For example, Ram and Lucky are sending a message to each other, to and fro, right? So TLS will ensure that Ram is exactly the same person as he tells so, right? And Lucky is the same person as he tells so, right? So there's no third person, for example, Mohan, who is saying that no, I am Ram. Actually, is Mohan, but he's saying that I am Ram and I am sending the message. So this problem is solved by TLS because TLS will verify this that both the parties are actually the same parties, right? Then the fourth point is preventing eavesdropping. What does it mean? So it says that TLS protects against eavesdropping by encrypting the data transmitted over the network. Even if an attacker intercepts the communication, they won't be able to decipher the encrypted data without the appropriate encryption keys. So, as we discussed in this second point, that TLS uses cryptographic techniques. So TLS will encrypt that data sent between the client and the server so that no other person can read that data because it will be already encrypted. And if some way the third person is able to intercept the data, intercept the request between the client and the server for the data, they won't be able to read it because it will be in a jumble format. And only with the correct encryption keys they will be able to decipher that data, right? So these are the 4 points that tells what is the use of TLS and why do we need it, right? How why it is important, right? So, few of the places where TLS is used is web browser, email communication. For example, whenever you are sending an email, for example, you're sending an email to your friend, right? Or in an organization, you're sending a email to your colleague, and you want so that email is consists of some sensitive information, right? So, and you don't want some third person to read that information because it is private to your organization, right? So that security has been managed by TLS, right? And then it is used in file transfer also, and then it is used in API communication. VPS it is used. So VPNs are something that are used widely across organization to enable TLS, right? So these are the use case like places where TLS is used, right?